What is up, everybody? This is Ryan, aka Crypto Zaddy. It is Friday, January 19th, 2018. We're happy to be alive today and every day. But basically, I crank the content, you smash the like button, that's how this goes. I'm experimenting with a bit of a new format. I'm just gonna do a little bit of like a briefing, okay? Morning briefing, because I'm checking the news every day anyway, and I feel like you guys can get some value out of this and maybe out of some of these different perspectives. So, oh, and here we go. We have this Slack popping off over here. For those of you who are interested, I am now running a Slack, a private Slack channel. So, you can contact me on Twitter or Instagram DM if you like, or just comment on this video for an invitation to the Slack. I'm basically doing a program where you can be a part of the Slack, which will have some of these updates every day, as well as we'll have a weekly call, like a weekly screen share where I'll do technical analysis on some coins. You guys can talk to me about positions that you're interested in taking on, things you're curious about buying. Any questions you guys have will be like almost like an office hours every week, probably on Sunday. That's just my first inclination, is to do it on a Sunday for a couple hours every week. So if you guys are interested, you pay a small fee. It's really not that much money. You pay a little bit. You can be a part of the private Slack. You get to be part of the weekly calls. And then additionally, for those of you who are interested, I have links to book one-on-one time with me if you want to go over, again, positions you're interested in, or questions you have, or projects that you're scoping out, anything like that, or you just want to learn the basics of exchanges. Plenty of different ways that I can help you guys and that I've helped people already. So if you're interested, the links are there. The information's all around. But let's get into this. First of all, the market, to me, it's a little bit of like an anemic growth. There's a lot of green and red here, and a lot of the change in terms of the appreciation is pretty modest compared to the massive, breakdown that we saw a couple days ago. Speaking of which, who's surprised that when financial institutions were allowed to formally get involved in the Bitcoin world, there was not only a big frenzy, but now, we saw this crazy 50%, 60% crash the other day. And is it a coincidence that it happened to be around the same time that the futures contracts expired? So what do you think happened? And I talked about this to people that know me anyway. I talked about this before this whole thing went down. Before the futures contracts were launched, I was worried that these banks and these institutions with lots of money would be pouring money into Bitcoin to raise the price because they were planning to short it. So they pour a bunch of money in to get all this frenzy worked up, which obviously happened in the beginning and middle of December. It was absolute insanity. Pump the price up. So they're buying it low, pumping it up, selling it here, so they're making money on that transaction. Then they're making money on the fact that they're shorting it because they bet against it, which they love to do, as they did in 2008 with all these financial derivatives that ruined the economy. And then then they short it, and the price goes down, they make money off the short, and then they buy it again low. And I mean, I guess in some ways, some people could say, oh, you can't blame them for trying to make money, but it just seems like they have a track record of doing things that are somewhat nefarious and, evil. So that's probably what's been going on here. And I am not happy. A lot of people are happy that the futures were happening. I was not very happy because it seems that everything that massive financial institutions touch, it just withers and turns to dust. So hopefully they don't continue to ruin Bitcoin. Meanwhile, the SEC is still pumping the brakes on releasing an ETF for cryptocurrencies. For those of you who don't know, ETF is an exchange traded fund, which is just like an index fund. So rather than, let's say, buying only Bitcoin or only Monero or whatever, you could buy a basket of cryptocurrencies, and that way you're a little bit hedged. Your position is diluted over a few different coins, and you don't have to kind of worry about the prices for any given coin at any given moment as much. You just kind of ride the general market, and ETFs are very popular among stock, securities owners. So, meanwhile, by the way, I think it's only a matter of time before they do have an ETF. It's pretty much guaranteed, and especially with all of the retail investors who are now interested in Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. As far as the blockchain in general, and again, I've said this many times, for me, it's about the technology. It's about the distributed ledger technology, whether that's the blockchain or whether that's Hashgraph or the Tangle. By the way, there are things even crazier and more innovative than the blockchain. But no matter what, the fact that we have taken a step in this direction with cryptographically secured distributed ledger technology across many different industries, it could be impactful across many different facets of life. It's going to affect the way that humans interact with each other, with governments, with institutions of all kinds, and I think that it's really amazing. So I love making money on the way up, but it's really about the technology. And the fact is that 2018 is likely going to be a big year for the blockchain in general and for distributed ledger technology in general with regard to its application in businesses. So formally integrating it into business, I think this is great, because the more that it gets kind of used and passed around and implemented, the more that it can be iterated upon, and the more that people will learn about it. The more people learn about it, the more that they'll be interested in investing from a, just purely speculative perspective. But then also, again, the more exposure it has, the more that we can sort of calibrate it and make it into the next best thing. Everybody probably thought that Zanga or LiveJournal was great. Then MySpace came around. MySpace was running the game for a while, and everybody was, on MySpace. You had to be on MySpace. And then Facebook came along, and now there's all sorts of spin-offs from there. So this is not that different from any other technology. The same sort of progression is seen analogously in a lot of different technologies, cars, cameras, everything. Okay, so this is a good thing, and there are plenty of business cases where I think it's really going to improve everyone's experience as a consumer or as a business owner using the blockchain and distributed ledger technology. Another sign that Wall Street and just mainstream are looking to pick up a blockchain position is that apparently, according to the Wall Street Journal, Blockstream is looking to create their own version of a CoinMarketCap, something that's a little bit more traditional. So this is just going to further push people into this market, especially from these deep-pocketed Wall Street zones. As far as the actual price of Bitcoin, I'm just going to do a quick run of this. My favorite indicator is the Ichimoku cloud, and right now, I'll be honest with you, it's looking a little bit bearish, because right now the short moving average has crossed the long moving average, and we are tapping the bottom of this cloud. I can get into more detail about this, and again, if you want to join my private channel, then we'll go into more detail about this. But effectively, when you enter the cloud, you're likely to hit the other side of the cloud. So the price was up here, it was above the cloud, and then we started crashing. It touches the cloud, and then you can expect that it will touch this side, but then it's supposed to, either break through, and then we're in trouble, or bounce off. And generally, it bounces off the slow-moving average anyway. What I'm hoping is that it's not the dead cat bounce, which I was a little bit suspect of the other day, when obviously we had everything tumble like 80% in one day, over the course of 2 days, and then the next day it's up 40%. But that can easily just be a bear trap where everything is crashing. Everyone then gets the idea they're going to pick up things at a discount, and they pump the price temporarily, but in general the trend continues back down. And they say it's a dead cat bounce because even a dead cat would bounce off the ground if you dropped it high enough. That's the saying. So honestly, the market is a little bit too ambiguous to tell right now. I'm not making any moves. I'm sitting, and I think that's probably the best case. That's really all for today. I'm going to be making another video a little bit later. Let me know what you guys think about this particular format. Leave comments and questions and everything, and I'll probably ignore them. Yes, so anyway, you know how this works. I crank the content, you smash the like button, and I'll see you in the next one. What's up?